Welcome guys, this is Lance, the option teacher. This video is going to be more of a vlog post on my thoughts on teaching and how that coincides with investing and saving as well. As you can see in my background, I got 3 different classes: IPC, chemistry, forensic science. 3 preps. Forensic science will be the first time in about 6 years. I've done IPC and chemistry for over 20 years. And it's going to be pretty interesting having a lot of students. There's about 90 for forensic science alone for 3 periods. Then I have about 20 or so IPC, 20 chemistry. Anyway, wanted to talk a little bit about my income ETFs and the amount that's coming in compared to my pension. So this is my 21st year teaching in Texas. Planning on doing probably another 15 to 20 years or so. The way Texas works is it's 2.3% times the number of years you work, and that'll be the percent of your last 5-year salary that you'll get. So I'm looking at close to 35, 40 years or so. If you do, say, 35 times 2.3, you get 80%, which will be 80% of my teacher pay the rest of my life when I retire. This is definitely very helpful for retirement planning and whatnot. To make up the difference, there'll be some in Social Security as well. And then I'm going to be looking at the income ETFs. I have many different income ETFs, like SYX, which is the slightly boosted T-SPY, TDAC, it's the NASDAQ version. Also have IAUI for gold, IWMI for small caps, BTCI for Bitcoin. Those are the NEOS funds. The TSYX, TDAQ are the Tap Alpha funds. And right now I'm currently getting around 6% in my yield if you look at the full amount of my accounts. There's about 30% of my total accounts are in these income ETFs. When I retire, I'm planning on moving more towards those income ETFs, possibly 50% or slightly higher than that. So if those income ETFs could cover the difference of my teacher pension, my wife's retirement as well, this would be in a pretty good retirement. All those don't have any NAV erosion, and over time the capital gains or gains should be a little bit increased, but it's more about the income that's coming in. Most of my funds are in the Roth IRA, so I don't have to worry about taxes for that as well. And I've been dripping or adding more shares when I get these income payments. Planning on continuing to max out the Roth IRA every year for 20 years or so. So dripping the distributions, getting more contributions in the Roth IRAs, also a SEP and my regular brokerage account should be adequate for retirement. One of the things that you want to be looking at is what is your current payments, what are the total annualized yields. Right now my total yield is 6%. Some of them are higher, some of them are lower. When I move more towards the income ETFs, they will be a higher yield, obviously, because those pay a higher yield than the just buy and hold stuff like SPY, QQQ, stuff like that. So it's very useful and also important to see where you're at right now, look for plans to get to where we want to be in the future. Use relatively conservative numbers and percentages. You can look at the last, say, 10 years of returns on different funds and then use a similar percent or maybe slightly lower than that. And then see, are you going to make your goals with a certain amount that you're contributing every month? If you're not reaching those goals, you're going to have to either take a little bit more risk to get more possible return, or you have to get some higher yielding funds. You just don't want to necessarily be 100% in these income ETFs because you want some of the growth to stay with inflation and whatnot. So those are just my off-the-cuff thoughts. If you have any questions or thoughts, leave a comment down below. It's going to be a really busy year, so I'll plan on trying to do about a video every week or so. And I'll see you guys on the next one.